It feels good to be back on your screen once again. It's eForum on GhanaWeb TV, the maiden edition. If you've been following our social media pages and our website, you notice that there has been a change in the name of the program. We used to be Bloggers Forum, and we're coming your way from our newsroom now. We are eForum, and we're coming your way from our studios. And of course, the conversation is bigger and better. We have a tall list of a panel. Nothing has actually changed except that we are going to have, a bigger conversation on the show. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantepa. I'll return shortly to introduce to you our guest and the issues that we have tabled for discussion. Thanks for joining us once again. It's 60 minutes of riveting conversation. Joining me on the panel is Ismail Akwe now. Akwe is an arts, tourism, and culture advocate. Akwe, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me and being here. Yeah.
George Britton is an artist manager. The whole. Last time I read online that he says he doesn't pay for plane tickets and hotels anymore. So after the show, I'm sure you'll give me all the money.
I know, right?
So, how come you've not been paying for tickets and hotel fees?
Well, I think for the past decade, most of my travels have been sponsored by, either event organizers or products, that we go and help in, activating. So I think I've been blessed on that side, So every trip that I've made, like I said, for the past 10 years has been sponsored for, yeah.
So all the money's way that you go feel do all these things, where the money be?
No, so I mean, of course, it's being invested somewhere. It's being invested in the craft so that you can get, the free tickets. So it keeps coming.
How is Camido doing?
Oh, very well. Very well. I think we are just in line what we actually anticipated for the year. We've been planning this for the past 2 years. So we're not surprised to see this, even though there are some places that we got to and we heard a song that we're a bit amazed. We're not usually songs, African music, blows in Europe, London especially, and maybe somewhere in America. But for it to be somewhere in Asia and hear people sing the song, that means that the internet has come to help us a lot.
George AC is a journalist and a PR expert. George, thanks for joining us on the show. Nice one. And when last time we went somewhere, I went with Akwe. Someone saw Romeo's video and wanted to find out who is this man. And so when I started introducing him, he says, "Oh, okay, he has heard what he wanted to hear." Guess what? Wow, any panel then I know. Also, sure I was a politician. And so when I mentioned that you are Medina Social Welfare Assemblyman, he said, okay. He looked like a politician. Romeo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How has it been? It's really been a long time.
Exactly, it's been long, but then our opinions were never halted. We've always been around and sharing our 1 cent on issues, especially relevant to a social living, day in, day out, be it societal issues, show business, you just name it. So we've just been warming up for eForum. Okay. Here we are.
Romeo is an event organizer. He's also the coach for Miss Ghana. So the Miss Ghana contestants that you've been seeing, he's the one that trains them on speech and how to present yourself when you are on stage. Last time I'm here, should be the person went blank or say, "Oh my God, oh Jesus." Romeo will not. Romeo will tell you that when you go blank, Charlie, don't let anybody see that there is you made a mistake. You need to go on because at the end of the day, you are the one who has your script and then you know what actually is in there. All right, so there are quite a number of issues that we will be looking at today. The first on the list is the Kirani Ayat issue with the government of Ghana, the Ghana Tourism Authority, and President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because it was the president that first, he was reacting to the president's video, I should put it that way. And so more like he was the first person who shared the video, or the first person whose video was spotted by Ayat. And it's a video that's promoting tourism in Ghana, telling the people outside to come and visit Ghana, and then even encouraging those who are here to, you know, explore the places, the tourist sites that we have in Ghana. And according to Kirani Ayat, who is a musician, the government did not reach out to him to seek permission for the usage of his video. Meanwhile, when he released the song, he actually tried to get the attention of the Ghana Tourism Authority for them to use the video, but they didn't. It was unsuccessful, and now they used the video without his consent, and so he called them out on Twitter. Now, the Ghana Tourism Authority has also released a statement, and basically what the statement is saying is that they contracted an agency, and then so more or less it's the agency that gave them the clearance, but the agency has also come out that the video that they gave, it was not the final work. This is how the face, this is how it's going to be like. So let's say it's a draft, let's put it that way. You watch and then you need to revert. So the final video, they are not the ones that worked on it, and this has actually generated a whole lot of controversy. People are expecting that at the end of the day, there's going to be a lawsuit whatsoever. But a quick one, let me just read the Ghana Tourism Authority's statement, the bit. It says, for the record, the footage in question was acquired legitimately from Biscope Spoke creative agency as part of a project in 2019. This video has thus been played severally, locally and internationally, without any issue. The content was used in accordance with the terms agreed with the agency and not as being alleged. And that's why I said the agency has come out. The agency says that the core obligation of GTA were to support the rollout of the discovery ban. Okay, so let me just skip that. It says, for the avoidance of doubt, the video which the president and the GTA have put in circulation is not the mood board we created. It contains snippets from the mood board. However, we never authorized the GTA to publish the mood board or any scenes from it. The signed MOU was explicit that our delivery obligations related to new content which would be financed by the GTA. So let me begin with Akwe. As someone who is enthused about the arts and tourism aspect of this whole industry, when you hear such news that the government has used the intellectual property of an artist without prior notice, and then you see the government come out with such communication, trying to, well, some say they are trying to push the blame to the agency. How do you dissect this? Did the government err in any way, or we should put the blame on the doorstep of the agency?
Well, I think Kirani Ayat should be congratulated for bringing up this issue, because if he hadn't, we wouldn't have known that they had already aired this severally on international platforms and other places, which he has to also track, because indeed, if he goes to court, he needs to make his money from all the other places where they've played it. Until the president released the video, or the president's handle released the video, he wouldn't have known that his own intellectual property was used without his own, approval. You know, and these are cracks that we have in our system, because for the government agency like Ghana Tourism Authority to use something without the people's consent, there's an MOU which they acted as if they didn't know it was even there. They were quick to respond without even sitting down to call Kirani and ask him, where exactly have we taken your content or intellectual property, or to ask the people they contracted to do the work that, where were you at fault? They didn't do that. They quickly came on to defend. Then now there's a ripple effect. Have they responded to Samsal?
Not yet.
Not yet, because definitely they erred. You know, so these are some of the problems we have, and it comes down to open tendering. Because if you want to give someone a business, there are so many Ghanaians who would even be open to offer their videos. Kamido can give his video to show Ghana, because there are so many beautiful videos they've shot. Even Kirani himself can do same if they call him, because he said he had offered, but he wasn't taken. He wasn't given the opportunity. However, you are using it now, and then you want everything to be normal, and you want to jump to defend on the media, on social media, and everywhere. Definitely things are not right. And things need to be made right, and it's good that now people can stand up and say, hey, this is my content. You need to give me what's due me, or they have to go to court.
You see, do you think the government goofed in its communication, being a PR aspect?
That has been the situation from the get-go. I mean, this whole thing started as an issue that you need to deal with at the early stages as you can. You don't allow it to degenerate into a crisis. If you want to look at it, now the government is more or less dealing with crisis. When you have BBC reporting the president of a country being involved in intellectual property theft and all that, that is pure crisis that you are dealing with. And if Ayat says that I've seen that you've used my content, please sort me out or whatever it is. The best thing, what do you do?
What should have the government done? What was the best thing the government should have done?
It started from when the president shared, from when Ayat came out, from when the Ghana Tourism Authority released a statement, to today that Samsao has also released a statement. At any point in time, the GTA had the opportunity to sort this out. Reach out to the person, let him, because from the very first place, he says, I don't have anything to do with the people you claim to have gotten the video with from. So from there, you just speak to him direct and try to find out how you can sort this out. And by sorting it out, there's a lot of ways to do it. Right now, I'm just reading that the CEO of GTA is on Hits FM saying that, oh, he should probably, essentially saying he should bring it on because that thing he was supposed to seek is folklore, and if we are going to talk copyright and all that, why do we do this to ourselves? Abrantepa.
So when you were speaking, I saw the reaction on George Britain's face. I mean, you are an artist manager. Assuming that your artist was in this situation, of course, let's not forget, what's his name? Fuse ODG has also come out with a statement saying that he also has his videos in there and the government did not seek permission from him. His lawyers are dealing with the case. As an artist manager, how best is an artist supposed to handle this? Because some have said that it's not a social media war, like we are seeing between Kirani and the government.
Yes, it is not a social media war, but I think that there are instances that you need to go a bit rough to get the attention that we seek. I mean, we've been complaining about copyright laws. We've been complaining about people using people's intellectual properties for their selfish gains or whatever it is, and we've still not gotten a response yet. I mean, you sit down and watch TVs and you ask yourself the number of songs are being used for adverts. Are the artists even saying? I can't remember back then when I was managing Akon and I had a song called Wash and Wear. And there was a soap company that used, a soap brand that used a song for, to advertise without even our consent. But fortunately for us, we have some few good lawyers around us. We dealt with them. Unfortunately, they didn't come to public for, the whole country to discuss. But this clearly shows the type of energy or how the government even sees the creatives. You understand? Because thinking, well, it is my intellectual property. Before you use my property, you have to seek my consent. Now he goes, especially the GTA boss. I mean, when you see his posture and how he's going around talking about this, looks like he cares less. I mean, who are you, a musician, and nothing more? You understand? Is it because we don't have the structures to help the creatives? Because for me to be in a studio to record a song, listen, I mean, the video that Ayat's video cost them a lot of video. That was a video shot by Nkommo Wo Ho up north. You can imagine how much money was spent. And you just pick it up and use it because, yes, it's a Ghanaian content. You understand? So I think the laws are supposed to be used here and used aggressively. If I was Ayat's manager, I think we'll hold this whole thing by the neck and try as much as we can to get every dime that we deserve from this.
But does it come to you as a surprise that we have a government, I mean, this is big, that they couldn't even take their cameras to these places that it's under them to film and use whatever they got from the place for these adverts than to take it from the music videos of these musicians? I
mean, I should tell you the level of laziness, some of us, possess in this country. I mean, you claim to be GTA. I mean, it's a big thing now. Tourism is a big thing in Ghana now. And even if you are not willing to do that, and there's content out there. I mean, most of the music videos, some of the foreign content that you see in, yes, my colleagues stolen shot and all that, but some of them are bought. You get me? So for you to use somebody's content, you will have to seek the person's consent or even purchase. You understand? Yes, you sit in Accra or wherever you are, and you think you can just download somebody's video and use it as your property. It's a criminal offense. This is a big criminal offense. I mean, we are just looking at the face of it and making it look like, it's your music video, so what? Imagine you have gone to, Europe or Asia to import goods, and I come and pay the goods without your knowledge to my home. How would you feel? You see, people don't really rate, when we say intellectual property or when we say content created by creatives, people don't really put value on it. That's one thing I've realized in this country. We don't put value on these things. So, yes, anybody can get up and pick somebody's content and, here he goes. So, I think I like this because, yes, it involves even the #1 person in the country, the president. So now heads are going to turn to our direction so that tomorrow, if anybody's content is going to be used, I'm sure respect is going to be put on before even the money.
Romeo, what would you say is your assessment of the way industry is approaching this whole issue?
I think this nation is built on disrespect towards the creatives. Even in our schooling, structures, little or no respect are accorded to the creatives. School of Performing Arts, the kind of mindsets people hold about them. But then at the end of the day, if you check the proper structure of any tourism-related country, it's the creatives that serves as our pillars. Because if you talk about a year of return, what are people returning to? People are returning to your culture through music, through sales. That is baiting people to come celebrate. No one is returning to listen to your economic gymnastics. No one is returning to your country to study your gold trend. People are here to enjoy the arts and through music. And that is what anchors, when we talked about what we call this global citizen thing, when the whole world was focused on Ghana, panned in to the extent that the president had to take advantage of the stage. It tells you that the creatives is sort of an element where, if properly given that attention, oil and cocoa or whatever will not match the revenue generations we are going to endure from that aspect. But guess what? Little or no investment is made towards that. And when young people are scratching deep ground within every means just to make ends meet and create that brand and image for themselves, and then someone sitting somewhere will just pick someone's property and thinks, oh, it's normal. Oh, they usually think this creative people are riffraffs, they are not educated, so they might not know their left from right. But I like what Kirani Ayat is doing. The reason being that he just released an album. No one is even promoting it. No one is talking about it. But you pick his video and you're pushing it. And I like it because it's also using the grounds to also remind people that, hey, I even have an album. And check out. And he's promoting his videos.
That tweet, he has actually been tweeting his album.
Exactly. And I would, it's laughable to hear someone say he should tone down on it. He's dealing with the government and a whole lot. This is an avenue he needs to leverage on to reach out to people who are even supposed to know. So you have all these quality stuff, and your people are sleeping on you. We always talk about pushing people to make the grannies. And if you check this trend of musicians, Ayani, Kamido, if you check all these young guys these days, you check their videos, there are standards that if the media or even the nation wants to focus on the arts, they're going to push these people. And when you talk about foreign exchange, you're getting forex without even destroying your land, without selling anything. You're selling people's ideas where they are coming back. You talk about the dollar price, dollar CD issues, and these are avenues where we can use to neutralize all these engagements. But then, we don't take the creative serious. And Ayani should push it to the last drop till he gets every pin he invested in this his creative idea in terms of his work. And what I saw on Twitter not long ago, I think the GTA boss is not doing any good. If he's not an expert in terms of handling communication, you should allow those meant to do that to handle, because he's actually muddying the waters. And he's actually making Ayat Kirani gain more grounds. And lawyers, people who do some pro bono job for Ayat, even if he doesn't have good lawyers, people will take up that case and push the government. Because if you check right from the onset, I'm not setting my lenses on the government, but if you remember issues of plagiarism that hit the president longer, people didn't take it serious. But it's an offense. People in Europe, leaders in Europe or Americas or elsewhere will resign. Yes, when they find themselves in such a situation. But when you come to this side of our world, the level of integrity associated to our leadership space is minimal. You get it. And it's sort of an I don't care thing. Once the person has a position, he wants to use it to tame someone or throw a shoulder about, but not to help the interests of the people. And this is a battle for all creatives, not just Ayat. It shouldn't be that, oh, no, because tomorrow it could be another person. And once he doesn't win, if he doesn't win, nobody, no other artist will win against any government tomorrow. So it's a battle for everybody.
Akwe, do you see this issue going far and getting the results that Ayat or any industry person may want?
Well, I want to pick up on the last thing he said. This is a battle for all creatives. And this is a time we need to see Musiga and Gamro and the others who claim they serve the interest of artists and musicians come up and support. Because if they don't, it's going to affect all of them. If Ayat is not a member of any of their groups, it doesn't mean they shouldn't also protect their interests, because it's in their interest. And this issue can be killed because, you know, we are in an environment where politics plays a role. Everybody keeps quiet because they have their interests, and then everything dies out. If Kirani does not go to court, there may be a possibility of settlement on the side, but that doesn't end the issue because it would happen again. And now what George AC was talking about, the GTA boss, talking about a law. So there's a law that was an act, a 1985 act that was reintroduced in 2005. And this act says that all artworks that have any folkloric connotations should it's not free. It doesn't belong to you even if you create it. And you need to pay the National Folklore Board to have it out there. And he's now talking in that direction with the
caveat.
Yes, he's using that to say
the president, to clean the president or the government of this mess. First and foremost, he fires the GTA boss because they pulled him into that. The president is no expert to determine as to whether this video was actually belongs to another person or not. So GTA boss failed in that regard. So for me, for the president to prove that he's free or is not to blame for that kind of a grand error, the GTA boss should go. Whoever is in line with that kind of blunder should be fired. Well, that's the first statement the president should make in order to show that he really supports the creatives.
This is something that I can bet on that will never happen. But it will never happen. They should we are there in the president. Just fire somebody.
Exactly.
Fire somebody less.
Just for a start.
You know? Yeah, I think we should do that. But it won't happen. And we know how it's going to go. Either they will pay Kirani and you will not say anything about it, or they're going to use this law thing to bully him, and that's what they are doing now. Well, they should go to court, and whatever the court's decision will come out is going to help other artists to know that, hey, I'm not going to shoot at Amina Castle, because if I shoot there, the government is going to take some of the proceeds of my hard work, you know. So this is something that will help us in the future. But right now, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen.
And Abrantepa, let me not cut you. If we talk about marketing in terms of tourism sites, it's the biggest avenue is through music. These musicians are just marketing the country, and you are milking so much from tourism. People come to visit your site because they saw it in a music video. People came to visit your site because they saw it in a movie. How much are they investing in a movie industry and the music industry? Nothing. That is my worry. Because at the end of the day, if these young people are putting resources together and are being overtaxed, because if George Britain, things gets maybe sort of a deal to import some good machines, to shoot good videos, to make good music videos. Even the clearing at the port will not be easy for him. He will not be considered as someone who is going to create content to push a sort of a business that is meant to generate employment for the youth, and also to fight this dollar weakness we've been facing that is attracting foreigners through our music or creatives. You get it? These are things musicians are supposed, even if you are unable to give them direct support, give them waivers. So that if there are important things that is meant to promote their work, they feel, okay, this is what you're also getting. So when they're also giving out to push the country, they know it's sort of a tit for tat. But nothing goes, but yet you want to take everything for free. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, from what I stand, you know, what really hurts is the fact that there's no value placed on content creation in this country. Nobody plays value. Everybody thinks, oh, you know, I mean, yes, doctor, banker, musician or content, you know, creative artist, you are the last and the bottom. But you see, I would say we are even the most blessed. You get me? Because the kind of attention that we bring to this country, other sectors don't. You understand? If the government is to properly run this creative industry well, I can tell you that the amount of increment that we will bring to the economy, it will surprise you. Because every now and then there's something happening. I mean, you only see GRA when you're putting up a concert. Aside that, what happens? How are you guys helping us? Do you even know how we even come together to do these shows? We live in an economy or a country where there are no support from the brands, from individuals. You know, like we are killing ourselves to get here. You get me? And for you to do your own concert, after the whole concert, even before the whole concert, you find some few gentlemen standing by the gate side taking money from the ticket and this. Fair enough, we have to pay our taxes, we understand. But when you take these things, how do you reinvest in us? You understand? It's just crazy if that's the way.
Let's wrap up on this conversation, but let me take George AC's comment. Now there have been reactions, different reactions. At this stage, how should each of the parties behave or approach the issue where it's gotten to now?
I think so far the people who have handled it easily or better, I should probably say Samsung, from the way things have gone. Look at the details in their statement, and look at the details in government statements. Governments release a statement saying, and they use some English words, a bespoke, whatever. Now Ghanaians have to go out there looking out for which particular company.
Interestingly, some people thought the B-scope was the agency.
The name of the agency. You understand? So it doesn't help anybody. Let's follow what guides every system and structure. Systems and structures in this country are not allowed to work. If we are a country that allows systems and structures to work, the PR person would have done his work right. The person who was supposed to do due diligence so that the president will not be caught up in all these things would have done his work properly. We live in a country, look, Michael Jackson died ages ago. He still gets his royalties up to today. They talk about how people in the creatives are supposed to help this country. Thomas Partey signs for Arsenal, worth of millions of pounds and all that, and his family, the people close to him, and it is the same way. Ask George, when they go out to play their shows and they come back, the kind of money they bring and the people around them, the benefits they get out of these things. Why should we be doing this to ourselves? Why can't we just allow the streets? Then we allow politics to cloud just everything. In whose interest do we do this? Of course, they will say it's because of the interest of NPB, because of the interest of NDC. But NPP and NDC is not Ghana.
So moving forward, how do they handle the communication? Ayat
should stop, probably if not stop, he shouldn't lose focus on what the main goal is here, right? And the main goal is to get his due. He should go to court like everybody else has advised. Now, Ghana Tourism Authority should stop this social media thing and get to the table, right? Try and get your facts right. Don't come and tell us that you have all the right in this world to somebody's property that he has worked for, whilst you don't have it. Now you've been exposed. So they shouldn't just be putting out statements for putting out stake. They should make sure that their statement is rich in terms of facts, so that they will not be caught up in all these things. It's rather unfortunate that our president has become it is bad.
It's a laughing stock
It is
to
bad.
the world.
It is bad.
I saw the reports from BBC, and it's sad. And Ayat was smart enough to tag himself with his new video.
His response.
And his response and his new video. So that you get to know the individual they're talking about. And he's riding on that to increase his numbers. It's fine.
In case you don't know which video it is, the title of the video is Buddha. That's Ayat, Kirani Ayat's video. That was used in that promotional video for the Visit Ghana campaign. You know, when this whole thing started, what I was saying was that you have someone, we have NPP people, or people in the creatives that are NPP. They could have engaged Kirani Ayat, backdoor, Charlie, okay. We mess up small, but you take this thing. Let's take a photo. Put out there, hashtag Visit Ghana. Oh, we have spoken. Everything is cool. And then not just any amount, an amount that he will be very okay with. And then you take a photo, put on social media, and say, I support the Visit Ghana campaign. I think this thing could have been could have ended.
At any point in time, they had the opportunity to end all of this.
Or maybe they're also playing to the gallery in the sense that people will try to dig to see the video and then get to know the Visit Ghana campaign and increase their numbers and later go back to what you're saying. So whichever way, but you see, this it's not easy. You see, even when you have an idea, as creatives, even for advertising agencies, you have a concept, you write to them, you present to them, they act like they don't want it. 5 years down the line, before you realize they've stolen it, no one fights for you.
Okay.
Because you don't have the capacity to face them.
All right.
That's what a lot of people are facing.
That's Romeo. He's an event organizer. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll talk about the Global Citizen Festival. Welcome back. You're still watching eForum on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Abrantepa. I'm doing this with Nanea Romeo, McDonald Nanea Asari is an event organizer. George AC is a PR expert. George Britton is an artist manager. I don't know whether he started going into events.
I was doing events before.
Oh, okay.
I used to run campus events.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, so many activations.
So you put that on hold.
And I'm still doing, especially with the activations. You know, we have an ad agency, an advertising agency as well. Yeah.
Okay, right. And then Ismail Akwe is a tourism, arts and culture enthusiast.
All of it.
So we're talking about the Global Citizen Festival. Now, it happened in Ghana, the 10th anniversary. There was a concert at the Black Star Square on the 24th of September. Now, the Global Citizen Festival is an annual music festival where fans take actions towards ending extreme poverty in order to earn tickets. And so we have artists who come to perform. There are world leaders who also take part in other activities in their quest or their mission to end poverty now. It's a moment both to celebrate all and we have achieved together and all we continue to achieve together. That's what the Global Citizen organizers actually say. So when it happened at the Black Star Square, we saw Ghanaian musicians perform alongside Asha. Well, Mani Bibriye Koho, because Asha. So Jackie performed, Stonebwoy performed, Sarkodie performed. We had Stormzy also performing and bringing on stage Kwesi Arthur and Untold to come and do the Sorry remix. Jackie was also on stage. I don't know which was your takeaway, the performances. Which one did you enjoy most, Akwe?
Well, I watched on TV, but I went there before the events and the security was tight. I really liked the entire setup and everything. You consider this of international standard, international Abba Ghana. And it's something that we've always been calling for, and a lot of people are learning from it. I watched the Sarkodie performance, and I also watched the Stormzy performance. I like the Stormzy one because he wore a T-shirt to make a statement.
That Lumba's T-shirt.
That's always, it's very artistic, and it's something that we look out from artists who always come on stage. Your dressing says something, hairstyle could say something, and everything else. And for art, you know, art illuminates culture, and culture also inspires tourism. And what did Stormzy do? He said Daddy Lumba, that's what he's going for. I think that was my best, because he also brought out these guys to sing with. So he had like a 3-in-1 performance, and it was perfect. Unlike the others who came on and did their own stuff, wearing white and all. It was beautiful too, but for me, Stormzy was on top.
A lot of conversation has been going on, and the Stormzy gesture has actually been applauded. George, did you expect any of the big guys, Stonebwoy, Sarkodie, to have mounted the stage with relatively young musicians like the way Stormzy did?
Well, unfortunately, no. I did. I know. Listen, I know our people. I know our people in the sense that, you know, the opportunity hardly comes by. And when it comes by, they want to grab it. You know, we are not too much of the people that, you know, share stage, especially when the time is. If it's my own concert, you know, we feel like, okay, I need people to fill in a gap. But when I have a special 20, 30 minutes for myself, I've not seen too many Ghanaian artists do that. And, well, I wasn't surprised. I mean, this is typical of us. You know, not using some platforms to, you know, introduce others. So, you know, they came, of course, they did the performances, you know. I don't know whether other artists will reach out to them and said, hey, I heard you perform, and can I join you as well? You know, so they came and do what they probably wanted to do. But it was beautiful to see others bring others on.
Looking at what went into their performances, what we saw on stage, I mean, some have said that even though these artists organize their own shows, Stonebwoy has the Beam Nation, Beam concert, Sarkodie has Rapaholic, they've not seen them put in that effort that they put on stage during the Global Citizen Festival. Is that the case for you?
You know, a lot of things contribute to, you know, the final take on the stage. Now, when anyone amongst us who experience, you know, the behind the scenes of the Global Citizen, you could tell that everything was scripted, everything was well managed, time, everything was well done. So when these things are done, it helps the artist bring out his A game. You know, imagine going backstage and even your microphone is not working and you have to change your dress, it's not fitting. All these things stresses you as an artist. But when you go to the backstage and everything is so comfortable and you see a very cheerful crowd, I mean, you bring out the best in you. I wouldn't say Sarkodie did so well as compared to what he's done, sorry, over the years at Rapaholic. But it was just, you know, the stage that presented him, you know, the stage had everything to make him look good. Same way, you know, Stonebwoy as well. Because a few weeks ago when he did his performance at Shaman, you know, you sit back and look at the number of people on stage. You know, it doesn't work anywhere. But if it's a local event, we don't even care. We'll just do anything. But because it was well organized, nobody was seen on stage. You were the main focus. This is you to giving your best to the people. You understand? So some of these things are things that we need to learn growing up, you know, in the industry. Because some of our concerts, you go and you ask yourself questions, when. And, you know, we travel out there, we participate in all these concerts, all these major concerts come to Ghana, and we learn very little out of it. So all these concerts are going to give us the best of performance.
Some have said if event organizers in the country have the necessary funds, we could put up such a show.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we need a lot of support because, you know, we are there but not there yet. When you listen, I was at Portugal, and before Burna Boy came, I had a band to, you know, go on stage or behind the stage. When Burna Boy came, I was told that when I step out of the confinement, I wouldn't be able to come back. Why? Because it was Burna Boy performance. I was like, no, but my pass allows me everywhere. They said no. Burna Boy's entourage or Burna Boy's team has ordered that when they start performing, there's no action on the backstage. So this allows him to know that any movement there is, it's something that is planned. So when I see somebody going left, maybe I'm supposed to go right. So there's nothing that will happen that will come and affect my performance. But in our case, it's not like that. I mean, we all care about, Sarkodie needs to look good, he needs to appear this way, and that's all. We don't manage a backstage well. We don't. Listen, it takes somebody, especially the lighting. Now, take a look at when Usher was performing. You could tell that the lighting, the movement of the lighting was actually in sync with his dance moves. I saw that when Chris Brown came to Ghana. After Chris Brown's performance, whoever came to control the lights, for a second I thought it was a ninja. You know? So these are things that we need. We need the institution here. I mean, people to go through the training, how to even control lights, the sound, what shows on the screen. Because I think as every artist, before, all of us are learning. I mean, we need to have creative or images that run behind our screens when we are performing, something that communicates with the song. Some of these things we are still learning and we're going to get better. If you have the money to put ourselves together, we might be able to do it, but we need a little bit coaching. That's
Romeo, you are into events. I'm sure you've heard a number of reviews. And what do you think? Okay, first of all, did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, I enjoyed the professionalism. I enjoyed the running order. I enjoyed the crowd control. I'm highlighting these elements because it's what is usually missing in our national front when we're organizing events, and it doesn't give most of the artists a free hand to do a proper performance.
So the question I was about to ask is, what do you think we can learn from what happened?
It's a full script we need to adopt. That's okay, especially the music awards. It shouldn't just be sort of like just an ordinary outdoor event. The other time I told you it should be a festival. It should be a festival where most of our music history should have sort of a research thing, a symposium, lecture, for foreigners to come study how we started even before. So even most of the awards will start going back door. I know they use a week and then they have these parties and a whole, but I'm talking about proper research. Maybe go to Legon School of Music, if there's a School of Music in Tech, they research and then check how we came by with this word high life thing, because recently we have Grammy top guys within the space. Now when we have a template that stipulates our journey as a country, where even Nigerians were able to tap in to birth what they are enjoying now, but we are not even enjoying the kind of fame Nigerians are enjoying, then let's rewrite our scripts. And then when we have our awards, in terms of music awards, it should be well structured so that the stage, like for instance, even if not the same as what they did, we should have something higher. When this guy, Sadiq, tried introducing something, you see, because of our level of competitiveness, we are always eager to pull someone down. We are not able to applaud people when they do the right thing, or maybe, okay, he has done well, this is his maybe first year, second year, so let's say, okay, with a little support, Sadiq can do better. But we fear competition. People are stuck with, let's say, Charterhouse. So if someone is doing something, instead of them to applaud everyone, because whatever, no matter the competition, it goes to support the countries, goes to support the base. So at the end of the day, whoever is doing good should be supported. But it's just like our pageants in Ghana. People are fighting for the same sponsors. So they would have to make you look bad in order for their brand to look better, for their sponsors to be able to dole out the money to support their quest. But if you're creating a common space,
it's an ecosystem.
Exactly. If you're creating a common space for ourselves, I should even see some Charterhouse engineers supporting Sadiq. So at the end of the day, if Sadiq also travels and gets some ideas, calls you and say, Charlie, maybe you can add this to your awards thing, it will go this way. It's for Ghana.
But you see, there was a time, I don't know whether George Quay at the time was still with Charterhouse, but I remember he made a post congratulating Sadiq when...
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't, right?
I think
He had
last
left.
year, maybe last year he came on to support, but he wasn't with Chata.
You see,
I'm
George
just to say that
George Kwe
it's because you
has been
mentioned Chaka
birthed
also.
by the creatives. It's the son of the creatives. He was a student of a school of performing arts.
Yeah.
So he understands the tenets of that kind of teamwork. Success in the creatives is about teamwork. It's not a one-man show. If you want to do one-man chop thing, you fail. So it's sort of a confluence of ideas. And if war merged, you get the best results. And that's what we saw at the event.
I have a
They are
question.
not superhumans. They're humans like us. But they've been trained to the extent that they put people, professionals in charge of something. And the challenge we face is that if maybe I hire you as maybe a sound person, instead of a sound person to put someone in charge of microphones, to make sure that the batteries are regularly, maybe after every 1 hour, you make sure you replace the batteries. No excuses. Whether the battery goes low or not, change it. So that we won't get to a point where they will have an interruption with the performance. Those are templates of professionalism that you can put aside for yourself. You get it? Now, whoever controls the polo light or whatever Pacan light is there to control on stage, there are people designated personally, but not someone who go and check the cord here, it's not working. He leaves, and then there's a problem here. We'd have to run. No, we don't work that way. People are situated right there. This is your job. So if it goes wrong, I know whom to hold accountable. But we don't do that because we do things boja. So don't get the results intended. So when we saw this, you see, no one will applaud this kind of performance in Europe, but we don't see it often. We don't see it often. So it's like, you do free, you get it. So
But you agree that the performances were nice?
It was nice.
Okay.
See people applauding Sarkodie. The whole country. When we talk about stagemanship, aside the Lord Kenyas, the terrible Nchakes, you talk about Shatawale, you talk about Stoneboy. You get it. But just look at the kind of energy that overwhelmed Sarkodie that day, and people realize that wow.
The way he performed the original track was serious.
Exactly.
It was serious, man.
You get it. So it tells you that no matter who you are, once you are given the right stage, the right elements in you will come out.
I have a question on communication for AEC. Now, after the event, there was an interview by Kojo. Now, Kojo Pukui is one of the... He's actually the Chief Executive Officer of Big Ideas Consult, a local partner at of the event. Now, he granted an interview to Giovanni and a question as to how the artists were paid. Because the conversation was about what they spent on the organization. Then Giovanni said he's sure that a lot went into it, even looking at the artists, the amount that they would take. And then Kojo said, oh, the artists, they didn't pay them. And then Jackie also does an interview on the same channel. And Jackie says she was paid. So per the report from 3 News, Jackie said, yes, she was paid, like full amount. And when the story was done, Jackie comes out. I don't know whether people were bashing her or not. Now she comes out and says that we all believe in the cause and the change it will bring, hence agreeing to be part of it. Yes, Global Citizen did not pay us for our performances, but invested in our performances and made sure the team was good and comfortable. Now, before this one, she had tweeted, how on earth do we have a big event like Global Citizen and you assume everything is completely free? People worked on it for days to make this successful. When I say we were paid and everyone on the stage was paid, I only meant that there was investment in the performances.
Thoughts.
Diplomatic language.
I say a diplomatic language. I want to question so
I see where you're coming from. You see, you read 2 tweets.
Yes.
The one where she talks about we all know the cause and what it stands for. As an artist and in terms of communication, you need to understand what the issue is about. being part of the program, you should have known what the program is about. This is a humanitarian program, so obviously, you wouldn't want the organizers to come and tell you that we are paying our artists this much or that much. Okay, it is an event for a good cause. So and you can't put up an event of such caliber without investing. So her subsequent post on Twitter is what is supposed to be her, supposed to have been her initial answer.
Instead of what she said in the interview.
No, of course, a humanitarian, as you would say.
But you see, with such an entity, I'm sure it's...
No, you see, that's why I'm telling you that understand what the event is about. Okay, this is an event to eradicate poverty and all that. So they will not come and say that you pursue this much so that and all that. But they will sort you out.
But don't you think perhaps the amount that they give her as the
it is subjective.
I have a problem with this focusing on the money part because everybody was paid. The artists who did all the artwork, those who worked on the stage.
No, Kojo says they didn't pay them.
I mean, for the little knowledge I know that everybody was at least given something. One, I mean, like Jackie said, the performance were heavily invested. I mean, from the costuming and all these things. Yes, we know it's charity events, but then you need a lot of things to complement your performance, which were clearly taken care of. I mean, they didn't pay because if they had asked Sarkodie how much he was going to charge, and they probably said $100,000. Okay, we might not be, or we are not in the capacity to, pay you this amount. But because of the cost of the event, we want to give you X amount to assist you, put together A, B, C, and D to deliver the very, very best performance. Because this event was not just for the Ghanaian community, it was for the entire world to watch. I think a day after, they have had about 2 million views. Yeah. So clearly, you wouldn't just come and, put up any performance. So for them to also be on the safer side, they had to invest well for people. But my problem is, wasn't there an NDA in, whoever signed a contract?
Because I think there will.
These are not things that are supposed to come out to be discussed. Who cares about how much I get when I perform? I mean, at the end of the day, people came there, they were thrilled, they went back home, it's good. But he was paid. You know how we think as people here, the very moment that we say this person wasn't paid, they will start looking down on the person. So these are things that I was a bit disappointed they came out. Yes, we knew that was out. I mean, charity event. I mean, Jay-Z was touring the whole world with, I think a water project. It didn't charge as much as he charges for his show. But we know this is charity. It's to, assist the very needy people. But for us to come back and be discussing money, who cares about money?
You see, Abrantepa, it was this thing was being baited by event organizers in Ghana. They just wanted to know that, assuming we invest so much into a performance and put up a good show, and then we don't pay you, we target charity, would you be cool? If we make your performances comfortable and everything appears classic, would you be cool? So they were digging. You see, questions were thrown at them to know, okay, so you always try to charge us huge. How much did you make from this? So they baited them. Jackie blundered with her initial comments, and then she had to go back. So, I mean, I always advise artists that before you say something, consult your team. Learn the details before you even say a word, so that the diplomacy around it will be highlighted, so that you don't end up hurting your brand, because you might need a damage control. So next time, Jackie is a young artist, and she shouldn't always be eager to speak to issues. She has managers, she has people, handlers. She should be able to ascertain as to every point in time what to say. Some of the queens, when they come for interviews, will prepare questions for you and say, you can ask them questions around this area. You're not supposed to go beyond, so that you don't put them in trouble. So these are some of the naivety that is highlighted alongside when young artists are coming up. You get it? So for me, it was just meant to test the waters for Ghanaian event organizers to know, to ascertain the fact that, so if we give you a better environment to perform and we don't pay you as huge as you expect, is that better? So that we rather invest in your performances.
Okay.
rather than the way you charge.
This should have been done off the record. Because
Exactly.
some of these things affect the country's, opportunities to.
It's as if we are just focused on money.
Yeah.
And you know, the SDGs Goal 1 is what pushes eradication of poverty. But this country, usually you don't hear our leaders even talking about the goal, SDGs. Nothing comes up. But Abrantepa, in every corner, I have groomed ladies in terms of any pageant. The focal point has to do with SDGs. All their projects are hinged on SDGs just to promote it. But this is an avenue where we're supposed to promote Goal 1 to eradication of poverty, hunger, whatever.
Only goals you have are NDC and MPP goals.
It hasn't been easy.
I
So,
do wanted to come in when George was making the
Yes,
point.
I'm
Quickly, let's wrap up.
The issue, like I said before, you need to prepare yourself. You need to abreast yourself with what you are doing. Now, let's look at it this way. Jackie went there, and all her talking and everything was centered around the objective of the program, the SDG goals, eradicating poverty, helping the cause and all that. How much they pay them. She doesn't owe it to anybody. You see, artists and people who engage with the media should understand this. We are there to ask you the question, but a lot of the times you don't owe us that much to be able to put yourself in a place where, how? You understand? Jackie is somebody that we are praying for, that she will go that far.
Hey, super girl, no? Okay.
No, I mean, it comes all the time. When Kwesiata came, I think we barely see that, but the likes of Kwesiata, the likes of Camido, the likes of Jackie are the kind of the whole country, everybody gets behind them. So when that is happening, you don't put yourself in a position where after the conversation around you is on other matters. Now they are saying, it is not necessary.
Let's do this 30 seconds each, if possible. How is this benefiting Ghana, the Global Citizen Festival?
Well, Ghana is the third African country to host, to be a host of the Global Citizen Festival. It started from Johannesburg, and then it came to Lagos, and now Accra. And we benefit from tourism, of course, because all the big guys were here. They are all spending, and a lot of people saw Ghana because the festival was held in New York, Central Park, and also in Accra at the Black Star Square. At the same time, people wanted to see what's going to happen there. And if you look at the artists who performed in New York, you see that they are not the kind of artists Ghanaians would want to follow. They are not the kind of artists Africans would want to follow, because they are normally doing these European kind of music and other music. But it will benefit us because in the future, others will see that Ghana is somewhere they could host the whole world for other events. There are so many other festivals, and we needed to take that opportunity. The booing was good. It wasn't only done in Ghana. It was also done in New York. Nancy Pelosi also got some booing because of the same issues. I mean, political issues. She's chasing China and she's chasing other people. And Akufo-Addo, well, the poverty is killing us. And a lot of people think, well, this is an opportunity to do what we have to do. They did it. And the whole world saw it. That shows that Ghana is a liberal country. You can't go and boo in other African countries. So this is the best place to hold concerts for the world. And so many people have done it in the past. So many big stars have come to Ghana in the past. And this gives us the opportunity and shows how peaceful we are. The Johannesburg Citizen Festival had a lot of issues. 2018, so many people were robbed, so many people were stabbed in Johannesburg at the same event there. However, in Ghana, so far, so good, I think.
It's only the Houthi.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Well, well, I think it's good for tourism. You know, it still throws light on Ghana. I mean, for the past, I mean, what this government has done so well is to, you know, throw more light on tourism, and of course, which reflects on the creative arts. So, for a concert of this magnitude happening in Ghana, what's a plus? The world got to know Ghana. The world saw Ghana. Black Star Square has been, you know, ringing in the whole world for the past week. So it was great for us. I think we need more of this. Yeah.
I see.
One thing, Iriasi in Ghana. That was exactly what the president said. Let's ask ourselves, how many times do we have Iriasi in Ghana? We can talk of Afro Nation, Iriasi in Ghana. Now, Afrochella, Iriasi in Ghana, and now it is Global Citizen. But we should look at the trend, and let us start advising ourselves and tell ourselves where we should be focusing on in terms of these things. We are talking about the CD dollar thing, and I think a lot of us have already spoken a lot about it. It is basically about what is leaving and what is coming. Okay, and in terms of what is coming, we import all these things and it takes the money away. But when it comes to these tourism and other things, these are the things that brings the foreign exchange. So we should be advising ourselves as a country. Look at the number of Ghanaians that were involved in putting this show together. We've already spoken about the fact that even though we don't want to call it pay, but people received something. People went home with what ordinarily you wouldn't get on the Ghanaian streets in any day. You understand? So I think it is an opportunity that we all need to see and understand that this will help us as a country. And let's invest in tourism, culture, and arts.
Romeo.
Yeah, it's an event that highlighted our space, the piece we always be marketing alongside our tourism baiting. You know, we always bait people to visit Ghana because we have that peaceful environment. It's a gateway to Africa. If you are a lost European or American, you can claim Ghana to be your home and you're welcome, we are homely. But one thing we didn't capitalize on is to sell a real identity, high life on that stage, which we didn't, because the whole world was waiting on us, was fixed on us, was looking at us. So I was thinking, even if not this urban high life artist, even let's put those old ones, at least people should hear good music. Oh, this is what they do. People would even be curious to say, okay, let's run a research into this. But we're doing everything that the regular things Akodi and Stumba did are what every Nigerian is doing. But if you had put high life on that stage, maybe we would have baited more people to say, these people are doing this good music and we don't hear it out. Then even the Grammy people would also start considering high life. But we had a big stage, no high life.
Okay.
It would be unfair not to also give credit to the fine artists who did a lot of the drawing, the design, the graffiti.
Yes, exactly.
We need to also mention them. They also put Ghana on the map.
The dancers.
The dancers too.
Yes. What's his name?
DWP.
Yes. I'm trying to mention.
I hear that there is a banter between.
Afronita. Afronita and there's
was also,
yes.
They did well.
I
think the focus has been on the artists, but the bands, the choreographers, the backing vocalists, this was something.
The MCs,
the DJs,
hypesmen.
Yeah,
So Kojo Manuel was one of the hypesmen. OG was there. DJ Mike Smith was the official DJ. For the show, Bellamundi was the MC. Jocelyn Duma was also there. In fact, for me, it was a beautiful show.
Costume was great.
Yeah.
Investment went in. So, like, 1 minute before we move, like I said, if we can produce such magnitude of a concert and the artists are willing to come and perform for almost free, I think it's something that some artists do look at. We know 3 music awards. We know some few events who put in so much to make the event look good. And when the event looks good, it doesn't just make the organizer better, but the artists who equally perform there better. I mean, 3 music awards last year, costumes were provided, everything was provided for the artists to make it very nice on the night. You understand? So, and in this case, I wouldn't be chasing you for 30,000 or 40,000. You get me? So let's find a way. I think we all have to work as a team, and the Ghana agenda should be best here in Ghana before outside. And the last cry is, if the creative industry can get 50% of what the government is putting in football, we'll sell Ghana more. More than 90 minutes.
Okay, right. So I unfortunately I have to go. I actually wanted to pick your thoughts on the booing and the cheers, but MPP says it be cheers, be any booing. NDC says it was booing, but the funny thing, those who are saying that then it be cheers, they say, oh, they're booing, then it be the NDC people way, then they do. But I mean, whichever ways, the system make what. But you see, Governor no Emma Isimu or Mutise coconut in George Brayton beard.
The funny thing about the boy, yesterday I had, was yesterday or 2 days ago, I had Adoy, Hopes and Adoy, making a claim that Sadiq and the people.
And Larry Dogbe.
hired some boys
Young
from
people.
Larry, from Fadama, 70 plus boys, and paid them 120. Why do you do this? Look, I'm looking forward to seeing Sadiq. Sadiq says his lawyers, he's taking advice for his lawyers, and I would really want to see him take them on. Because I mean, what is all this? We all know what is happening in this country. We don't need to lie to ourselves like that. But then the minister goes to say that, oh, the president, like you said, the president, they were actually cheering. Frankly, I mean, if I was the president, I wouldn't take that lightly. It's like, unless maybe the minister will say, oh, the diagram, because this is just more or less like fanfu thing.
I mean, too many jokes are around the system because you say we seem not to be taking anything serious in this country. Listen, the people of we are all NPP and NDC people. But they say we just have to call a spade a spade. People are going through it and they are not happy. So when they get an opportunity like this to jam to music and go and relax, and they see the same person that they see on TV, provoking them every day, of course, there's going to be a reaction. I mean, I do not support these things. You get me? Whether NDC or MP, I do not support it. But when it comes, let's find a way to address this. Listen, the youth has a power. They should never forget that.
But you see, the aftermath of it is what is baffling, what Katie Amon said. But I always say that
it's the question I wanted to ask you.
Fools die young. Fools also grow old, right? So in any case, a young fool may grow to be an adult and may remain a fool. So let's not mistake gray hair always as wisdom.
Ona will be a dog. Are you offended by the comment? I say, Mamu Yama about you say he's waiting my boy mine.
Well, I mean, like somebody said, I mean, listen, Katie Amon said the youth cannot help. In all.
But they go to beg Macron.
That was what I was just going. You get me? So if you're not ready to empower the youth to be able to manage your affairs well, for you as a leader to sit up there and get the praises, that means you have a problem. I mean, let me cast my mind back. In the 50s and 60s, Nkrumah was able to make available things that help the economy grow. And if today I'm not getting these things, then you are a big problem.
It's okay. Let quick one.
He talks about the youth. When Kwame Nkrumah was there, we are students of history, and we understand that back then it was student unions who would rise up and government would shake. But they themselves, they have essentially crippled the youth, and now they tell us that we can't rule.
How have they crippled the youth?
The education minister himself recently at the UN General Assembly said it, that look, it's like these days Ghanaian children are timid.
Yes.
The system they have structured.
That
is it.
Right? As I told you.
Now, to the extent now he feels like he can tell us that
well, that's how we draw down the curtain for on today's edition of E-Forum on GhanaWeb TV. I've been on the show with Magduna Daniel Asari, aka Romeo, is an event organizer. George AEC is a journalist and PR expert. George Britton is the manager, artist manager, event organizer. He manages Camido. Any other artists?
I don't manage Camido, yeah.
Not yet.
No, I didn't manage Camido.
I meant to ask if there is an artist that's coming up.
Oh, no, I mean, we assist almost everybody.
Okay.
But, it's Camido that we are fully in charge.
Ismail Akwe is art and culture and tourism advocate.
Kwame Nkrumah was in his 40s when he gained independence for Ghana. Rawlings was in his 30s when he was head of state.
Youth.
And so most of them. So that's what I was saying.
Now, if you are a lover of comedy, I have good news for you. That's because Lexi the Comic is doing the second edition of his Too Cute to Be Mute today at the National Theatre. If you were at the first edition, you don't want to miss this. And if you've seen any of his short videos online, I'm also sure that you don't want to miss this. If you've not been to any comedy show before, don't join the people that always say Ghanaian comedians are not funny. What I say, join Lexi the Comic, and we have Lexi joining us in the studio to have a conversation on how it is going down at the National Theatre. Thank you for joining me, my brother.
Thank you. You just caught me like the shortest possible because I have few hours to just jump on stage. So.
Okay, nice one. It's good. So now every time we have a conversation, you bring my attention to the fact that there's something short that's going to be happening, right?
Shortly.
Tell me, how has organization been from the time you started building up the momentum, building up the anticipation up until now?
I would say this is one of the toughest, most challenging events I've ever done, because this is the point. I just realized that I need a team, like I need a proper team. I thought last I did it all by myself with the support of just one gentleman called Francis and Tako. And this year I was moving into the National Theatre, so I employed the service of George Quay. Even with the support of George Quay, from my end, I still need like a whole team just to rally behind, because some of the things I have to take it up upon myself and do, chasing sponsors here and there. No funding, everything is coming out directly from my pocket. But as I said, this is what I want to do for myself. So basically, I am just putting in my all. It's been a struggle. As you can see, it took a lot of stress for you to get me on this platform. I don't know why this thing is spinning me to the other side. You have to jump on stage. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. Already, you know, the industry battles its way trying to find sponsors for shows. Even with a well-established industry like the movie industry and music. So for a growing industry like comedy, not too many corporate entities sees the commercial value it adds to them. So I think we have to do it to a certain point. Then they will know that no, we have a good number of people who actually follow our craft. Then they will, because they want a commercial value for whatever they put in there.
Is that the feedback you get when you go to these corporate entities for
They might not tell you, but you can feel, like, you'll feel the energy. You clearly feel that some of them will tell you, okay, we need to come and see it for ourselves first. We need to come and see it for ourselves. So last year, the same thing, they said they saw the numbers, but I think they still need to see something extra. So the extra is what I'm trying to pump in this time.
So how are you funding it if at the end of the day you are not getting sponsors and the show needs to go on? National Theatre is not free. You have people working the set, the sound, all these people, including the ushers.
I took a loan.
Really?
Well, I treat comedy as any business anybody is trying to venture into. If a farmer will go and take loan and invest into his farm, that young entrepreneur would want to take money and pop into his new business and see growth and pay back the loan. I can also treat mine as such. So I took money from friends like who believe in the craft and they know I have the potential of bringing back the money as I promised. So I took loan and added mine to it to do this.
So exactly, what's the budget for this production?
Thank God being so good. It's in line with the National Theatre's yearly festival they do. They have this with theater festival they do every year. So they pick people from who are actively doing something within a particular discipline. Yes, felt. So they realized I'm putting a lot in my craft. So they came to last year's edition and they felt, okay, why not partner with you this year in line with our theater festival? So with venue, it is more of like percentage split.
Okay.
But with logistics, everything that is going, publicity, paying of arts that I'm billing and all, everything is coming from me.
I see. You still didn't answer the question there. So what's the budget?
The budget, so far, a little over 50K.
Wow. And you're sure of recouping and even making profit?
It's a risk I'm taking.
Because mostly you hear event organizers complain that they were not even able to break even. That's the reason.
This like I did one in Kumasi. The numbers were great. I didn't make my investment back. I struggled, paid back the loan, and I'm still back on the road again. Because
you're still doing a loan?
Still doing it again. This year, I ran into debt of like 25,000. The first one I did in Kumasi, it was successful. People showed up and all, but I still didn't make back because truly, gate proceeds. If you don't have support coming from anywhere, you won't get your money back. Because anybody that is trying to give you a helping hand wants a free ticket. I want to come and support. So you see an auditorium packed with a lot of people, but a chunk of them are like in there with a free ticket. And even the tickets, you printed it. They didn't even pay for the printed ticket. So that's one of the challenges we face as event organizers. So
if you have all these challenges, what is it that keeps you moving, that you still want to organize shows if you are running at a loss?
It took a certain gentleman, like two brothers, to test the whole aeroplane concept for, I don't know how the many times they tried. Before they got it right, then finally it has grown to this point where now it can accommodate about 200 or 300, 400 people. So I feel like you try, you fail, you try, you fail. The harder it gets, the closer you are getting to the finish line. So I don't care the number of times I'll try and fail at it. I'll still go back. But I know very well that now Ghanaians believe in their craft, comedy, and a lot of them wouldn't mind paying any amount to come watch us. So this time, I've seen some growth in terms of ticket patronage as we speak. I wish I could announce that the show is sold out, but you know Ghanaians, Stubborn Academy, they still want to wait till last minute. Even when you tell them you are blocking their SIM,
they still want to
wait for the
and see whether you block the SIM.
Yeah, if you block just then
they see that
give us 2 days, we show up. You know. So I know what my people, I know like, yes, some will still want to come at the gate and buy. But so far, tickets sales is quite good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Looking at all the challenges that you face in putting together an event, if you hear some comments that people deem derogatory towards the arts and the people who are in the arts, how does that make you feel, and how do you react to such comments? I know the people I'm dealing with already. Okay. A lot of the time, if you jump into the art before you learn about it, that's where you face challenges. But I knew I knew the people I'll be dealing with when I jump into this. Until they see it becoming so big, you get some of these comments coming through. So it doesn't really like bother me if people come back to me and like, oh, this thing is not really working. It's they are not putting it, like they are not pulling your weight. I focus more on the people who give me constructive criticism. So some people will tell you that, oh, Lexi, you did a great show. There's some potential in there, but if you can do it this way or do it that way, it will help. Okay. Those who praise me, I love them, but I pay so much attention to the ones who give me like constructive criticism. They will pull you aside and say, you did fantastic. But next time I feel like the stage, if you guys can. Because last year, one of the things people complained about was I chose a smaller venue. That was Snap Cinema.
And that was my first time actually headlining my show with just my image. And I didn't want to take the risk of going for a bigger place when I have never tried it before.
It's good to have a small venue fully packed.
Yes.
And have a bigger venue and you see anybody to
So these same people told me, move into a bigger auditorium. And now I've moved into a bigger auditorium. So I'm now looking forward for them to sell me. Yeah. So I'm still expecting such comment like, Lex, why did you choose National Theatre? National Theatre is too small for you. Choose a bigger. Then maybe you move to Grand Arena. I want to every time challenge myself till it gets better. Maybe the next minute we are filling the O2 Arena. Yeah.
Nice one. So today, what's happening? Lexi, we know Lexi is performing. Obviously, you are headlining the show. Yeah. What exactly is going to happen? Who else is billed for the show?
When you said headline, I saw how my hairline is going back, and I don't feel good about it.
It looks like you are getting into the same territory with Obi and Ponsa.
When I see Kim Promise, I know I think brother match on. I'll join you soon. So I have supporting arts like holding me down this time. I have the likes of Clemento Suarez. As I said, I'm not here to tell you what Clemento Suarez can do on a night, and I have the likes of Obi and Ponsa. I'm not here to tell you what Obi and Ponsa. He's currently the best comedian, overall best comedian of the year, Kopo Awards. And I have for General Ntatia also coming through. I'm not here to tell you. See what he does on KJT and Makola, and also the almighty Funny Face, who has been away for a long while. This time he's coming on, and he has a lot of things to share with us because for this long period, he has been through a lot, and a comedian becomes way funnier when he goes through a lot of pain. So he gets to laugh at his pain more. So, and yes, the reigning stand-up comedian of the year at the Kopo Awards. I am like the headline of the show.
Okay.
And we have Mr. Drew also coming.
I was just about asking whether it's going to be only comedy.
No,
or we are going to see
Mr. Drew is also coming too. I have a few musicians who have also promised to pass through, but they don't want to be on the artwork, so it's like a surprise for the night. And also a comedian from Kenya, he will touch down this evening. I'll pick him from the airport. And also footages will be out soon. I think they're having challenges with the weather. So Simi, he's from Kenya. Check him out on social media. One Baden comedian. He's also joining me. So it's going to be a night of solid laughter, because right from the entrance, if you look at the preparations, it is the only comedy show that we've started building up the stage. We started yesterday. We started building the stage, so you can imagine the kind of stage we are building. If global citizen festival is better than us, they are better than us because they chose Independence Square. We are doing a solid stage.
Easy.
Yes, and right from the entrance to the point you enter the main auditorium, the foyer and everything, everything you see there will like entice you to anticipate for what you see in the main auditorium. It's going to be a night of solid laughter. You know? Okay,
right, and tickets are selling at the gate.
Yes, tickets are selling at the gate, 100 Ghana cedis. But if you don't want to come and join the queue, I will entreat you to actually dial star 928 star 528 hash, star 928 star 528 hash on your mobile phone, any network. You can buy the ticket through mobile money. They send you a QR code, and that's what you show to my people at the gate, and you have a direct entry to the place.
Okay, before we go, your final words to the people watching.
I don't have any final. I'm not dying soon.
On the show. Your final words on the show.
Okay, so keep supporting GH Comedy. Come around, let's have a good time. And to that young comedian out there who is having people telling him you shouldn't do this, you don't have the potential, or your parents are even telling you that they didn't take you to school to go and fool. I'm telling you that anything that you don't get people actually oppressing you, suppressing you, compressing you, telling you it's not possible. It is not worth chasing. Let people see their vision to be very blurred. Then you try and make it materialize. They will come around. So don't give up. Just keep chasing. But see you tonight at the National Theatre. It's going to be a blast. So far, tickets are fast selling. So grab yours as soon as possible.
It reminds me of those days when they were selling VHS. Grab your copy
now.
Thanks for coming. Lexi the comic is a stand-up comedian. Which one?
But it's coming from a guy I don't like it. Thanks for coming. Like coming from a guy.
And you're correct. Lexi the comic is having his event tonight at the National Theatre. Let's go and support him. Let's go and watch, please. Men find show team say Ghanaian comedians are not funny. In fact, even when you go there, what do you say team?
Doubting Thomas. Yes.
Right, so see you there. All right, so the Global Citizen Festival came off at the Black Star Square. A lot of things happened. You may have seen stuff on TV, online, on stage, but did you see things that went on around the stage, the backstage, and all the conversations that, our presenter Doreen had with the people who were there? Well, she has all these captured in Vogue.
Thank you so much, Abrantepa, giving you a 360 of what went down at the Global Citizen Festival. It was a lot of fashion style going down, good artists, many known faces, which you will get to know soon. So let's get into it. So what really inspired your look today?
Like for me personally, I think it was like the show. I feel like if I wore it, it would be nice. So yeah, that's why I wore it. Okay, for me, I feel like my fit fits the location and the program, so I'll feel comfortable. We love the performance and everything, so yeah. For me, I feel Sakodi and Kwesiata, yeah. Sakodi and Storms. I feel like her outfits and everything was given, yeah.
It looks like Thames is getting in for the stylish outfits like they actually did. And you look good.
Yeah, thank you.
What inspired your look today?
Myself, like my mood, like literally, like what like my mood inspired my dressing. So.
And you look amazing. So tell me, how do you feel about the Global Citizen Festival?
It's quite educative at the same time, like inspiring, like at the same time entertaining. You get? I saw Thames, but I'm looking forward to one artist. Like,
I heard everybody say Burna Boy, Burna Boy. He wasn't built to perform, but it looks like everybody's looking forward to him.
the giant of Africa, like literally.
So guys, I'm so happy to see Nkommo Wo Ho at the festival. Hey, he's gonna be telling us how he's feeling the festival.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
I mean, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? This is my first time coming out since I've been in Ghana, to a festival, so, you know, I'm feeling good. Great performances, you know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to get on stage, though.
Are you gonna be performing? It'll be so good to see you, like, you know, with the dance moves and
See y'all in
everything.
December, see them in December, you know what I'm saying? Maybe in December.
Nation.
I'm not gonna say.
Abrantepa.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
So tell me, who has been your favorite artist so far?
I mean, I only stepped in when Sarkodie was here, but I seen, what's his name? Who was our favorite again? Stormzy was lit. I'm here to wait. Has Thames been on yet? Thames?
Yeah.
It's already been?
Yes, you have.
Oh, sad. I'm here to see Thames, so if she's already been there, sad.
Why are you sitting down here?
I've been jamming since 3 o'clock and my feet is tired, but very soon I'm going back to the front to jam again. Stoneboy was killer as usual. I also like Thames very much. Both of them killed the show and I'm happy to be here.
What are you doing, like, currently here at the Global Festival?
We're having a lot of fun while we support global citizens worldwide. Yes, we are trying to enjoy.
Who have you actually enjoyed their performance?
Everyone. It's been a great vibe, a great ambience. Everybody's having fun. It's very safe, so we're having a lot of fun.
Oh, it's true. Everyone, we enjoy with everyone, but for me, the surprising one was Uncle Waffle. Uncle Waffle.
Wow, do you know some of the songs?
I was not expecting her to come. Like, I didn't know because they have some different updates on the program. So I was like surprised. And I'm not a big fan of Amapiano, but I enjoyed.
I love how you dress. What inspired your look?
Oh, nothing really. I just wanted to feel comfortable and I wanted to just be free.
And I think you really did a good job because you really look dapper.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is your experience with the whole festival?
Oh, so far so good. Lovely performances by everybody. I mean, I'm a bit tired, but apart from that, I'm having a good time. I love Stormzy's, I love Jackie's, but there was someone before that. Who was that? Who came? Thames.
Thames. And do you know any of their songs?
Crazy things are happening.
Oh my God. So what do you think about the program so far, Global Citizen Festival?
No, I think overall it's been amazing. It's been electrifying. People brought their energy and everyone just having a good vibe. So far, I'll rate it really highly. So I was really looking forward to Stormzy and his performances were amazing. And I was looking forward to SZA and Asha as well. And right now, SZA is killing it. So I have no complaints. But kudos to all the artists as well. They did a phenomenal job as well.
You know one line in Stormzy's song?
Say, we'll see so big chat on a big man team.
Hey, this was lit. What inspired your look?
I don't even know. I woke up this morning and these were the easiest colors to put together and I just threw it on.
And I think you did a really good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we are at the Global Citizen Festival. What are you looking forward to?
I mean, so far it's been a great experience. I saw Stormzy's my favorite performer. I saw him perform. I love the initiative. I mean, it's amazing. I would love to get involved. And yeah, it's been a great night so far. This is the first of its kind and I'm glad I'm part of history.
So it's getting lit here at the Global Citizen Festival. I'm standing in between some really handsome men, and you're going to be telling me about what they feel about this program so far.
Everything is so good. It's a very good initiative. I think they should keep it like annually to be happening in Ghana. Like, we love it.
Yeah, the show is a very nice one. Myself, I came here because I'm an artist myself. You know, as an artist, things like this are good for you to experience and see. Some of my colleagues and my I would say my bigger brothers were on stage, and I saw the way they nailed it, especially Stoneboy, Sarkodie, they nailed it. You know what I mean?
This is my first time for a show to Global Citizen, and I really like it. I came from Switzerland only to this show. I wanna.
He came from Switzerland just for the show. Did you hear that? That means it's really a big deal. So far, who is or who was your favorite artist?
He likes Sarkodie. He likes Sarkodie a lot.
I like Sarkodie a lot. But my first one for what I'm there is Yosha. You know.
So you know the Sarkodie anthem?
Yeah, let's go.
Don't know I'm from a shy man, so guess what? Yeah, man, I'm a shy man. Stoneboy is like a friend, it's like a brother. Like I know him personally. Anywhere he goes, I try to support it. You know, the dream and stuff like that. So yeah, Stoneboy and Sarkodie, straight up my favorite artists.
Aside the other artists that perform, who else caught your heart or your attention?
You know, I'm a very great fan for Usher since my so I wanna be there to do my smooth. You got me? I wanna dance. You got me? It's something like that. So I'm there for Usher. I like it very much. So I want there. Okay.
Well, it's been great talking to you guys, and thank you so much for talking to me. So it's Mulaga to the Viasia. I'm your girl Doreen Abanmabaya, reporting live.
Thanks, Doreen, for that update from the Black Star Square. And if you enjoyed it, definitely the entertainment desk is going to come your way some other time with yet another coverage. So now we are covering events. Whichever event that will be organized in town, we'll be there. We'll interact with your favorite celebrities and the people who will be at the event. We'll bring you up to speed. And we call that segment Vogue. And that's how we end this episode of eForum on GhanaWeb TV. It's been an extensive conversation. Initially, I said it was going to be 60 minutes, but of course, it happens but once. This is the maiden edition, and so we had a lot to talk about. That's how come we have a very lengthy show than usual. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa.